the workers were there, yeah, because they're working next to each other. Okay?
Mr. President, what kind of message does it send that you're surrounded by nurses who are not doing social distancing, who are not wearing masks? What kind of a message?
Well, I can't help that. I mean, look, I'm trying to be nice. I'm signing a bill, and you criticize us. Look, here's the story. There's nothing I can do to satisfy the media, the Democrats, or the fake news, and I understand that. We did the greatest job mobilization in history with the ventilators, and I don't think there was a story what a great job we did. Now we're helping Germany, and we're helping many other countries, France, Spain, and Italy, by the way, and Nigeria, sending 250 to Nigeria ventilators. And 2 months ago, we didn't have any ventilators for ourselves. The cupboards were bare, right, Deborah? They were bare. People have no idea. There's not a thing I can do to satisfy the fake news, and there's not a thing I can do to satisfy Democrats. I watched this phony Chuck Schumer. Everyone in New York knows he's a total phony. He brought nothing back to New York except salt. You know what salt is? Bad tax policy. He brought salt back. He didn't even fight it. I watched him the other night on a show, and all he could talk about was testing, testing, testing. And yet I showed a chart yesterday where our testing is far superior to anybody else's testing. And then the other thing is very interesting. Because we did so much more testing, we have more cases. If I did little testing, we'd have practically no cases. So the headline was, we have more cases than anyone else. Well, China has more cases than us, and other big countries. You know, you're talking about big countries. But they don't want to choose, they don't want to use that. The fact is, we've done better testing, more testing. In fact, we've done, as of 2 days ago, more testing than the entire world together. You would add every country together, we've done substantially more testing than the entire world together. And all I get is, oh, we have more cases. You understand that. We have more cases because we do more testing. If I don't do testing, we don't have any cases. So as I do more testing, they say, but you have more cases. They're very smart, but they're very devious people. And in many cases, very bad people. And in some cases, very good ones. There's a couple of good ones here.
Could we ask the
Please.
man who was sleeping on the floor behind you a question? Up until recently, we've heard a lot of stories of hardships on the front line, owing to a shortage of PPE, masks, that sort of thing. Can you tell us, did it get bad where you were, and what's the situation now compared to what it was?
Sure, there's always a lag time between what happens in real time versus when you guys get it and run it, you know. So the PPE, the ventilator situation, yes, it got to a point where it was getting bad, but manufacturing ramped up. And I think those are two things that we knew we would take care of as a country. The third thing that we can't manufacture, and I've talked about this before, is a doctor or a nurse or, you know, essential personnel. We can't just manufacture them. So ultimately, that ended up being the weakest point for us on the front lines. We had the PPE, we had the ventilators in time, but we just didn't have enough people. We couldn't get them there fast enough.
And one of the things we did is we sent in the military doctors and nurses, and I think most of you have seen them and some of you have worked with them, but they did a fantastic job. John, we had a lot of the military, like we took the Comfort because they didn't need the ship, and we took the Comfort and we took the doctors and nurses and we sent them all over New York and New Jersey. We took doctors and nurses out of the convention center, the Javits Convention Center, and many of them went throughout New York. So we did a job. And we weren't even supposed to have doctors in the convention center, but we ended up putting there. So we had a lot of, because it's true, what you're saying is right. The man and woman power was one of the toughest things.